In mid-October 1942, a tropical storm formed off the coast of the Carolinas. It was slow-moving and led to heavy rain over 4 days. That led to widespread flooding across the mid-Atlantic. At Coote's Store in Rockingham County, it was the highest river crest since 1836. These are flooding photos from Broadway. That 1942 crest along the North Fork of the Shenandoah River was only surpassed by the flood of 1996.
Oh, I remember the flood when I was a little girl.
Charlotte Shiflett was only 5 at the time, but she remembers this flood as the rain poured in Elkton.
I remember mostly looking out the windows at my dad. I had this fear that he was going to get in some deep water.
Thankfully, the Shiflett family lived on a higher ridge and did not experience flooding like other areas. Over the course of 4 days, rainfall, anywhere from 5 to 12 inches of rain, fell across the area. That sent typically quiet creeks like the Hawksbill Creek, well, it turned it into a raging river of rushing floodwaters. And those floodwaters washed out hundreds of bridges across the area. It led to mudslides, and many had to be rescued.
I remember boys, they thought it would never end. After a while, it just seemed like it wasn't going to quit anytime soon.
The rain eventually stopped, and the damage was done. These were rainfall totals across the area. For the Shenandoah National Park, nearly 20 inches of rain fell. Shiflett still remembers how intense the rain was during that storm.
I do remember the rain was very heavy. I can picture my dad, but he wore hip boots around down in our swampy area.
The torrential rain coming right at the peak of harvest season. In Augusta County, the South River in Waynesboro set a record crest. Today, it's still the 3rd highest crest on record. According to the newspaper, about half of the apple crop fell to the ground during the heavy rain. Many orchards asked for volunteers to pick up what was left of the apple crop. The area was without power, and farmers were hit hard. There were numerous mudslides along part of the Blue Ridge. It was the flooding in the 1930s and the 1940s, and then the devastating flood of 1949 that would eventually lead to the construction of numerous dams across the area to aid in flood mitigation. Working hard for you, I'm Chief Meteorologist Aubrey Urbanowitz, WHSV.